Despite reports of what we heard out there, the director of Blue Beetle confirms that when it came to James Gunn and Peter Safran's interference with the film, they barely had any hands-on. They saw the film, they loved it, and only gave them a few notes. So again, this comes at us from the director of Blue Beetle, and Andrew was talking about the approach of making this film in terms of what it had to offer. And he said he always wanted to focus on Jaime Reyes and the family aspect. And when the film was in the editing stages, when Peter Safran and James Gunn came on, they saw early cuts of the film. And the minimal notes that they gave them in the editing bay and what they had to do were so minimal that it barely required any changes. And what he says was more about specific elements of the film and certain things, how they're paced and things like that, and that was really it. Outside of it, they loved the family element, they loved the action, they loved the characters, they loved the casting. They were okay with all of that. And this seems to have been the film with the least amount of interference from the higher-ups. And that's what he's leaning on in all these interviews. Now, I'm just going to speculate here, but James Gunn and Safran sat down and saw this film. And then James Gunn very publicly said, outside of any of the other films, yeah, I like this. Blue Beetle, we're going to move forward with him. We like the character. It's going to stay in the DCU. And then he said, yeah, we're keeping Jaime. I think it's quite clear they loved what they saw with Blue Beetle, but they knew it wasn't going to be a box office hit. So the best way to sort of deal with this was to just look at it realistically and say, it's going to flop, but we love what you did. The world, the character, the origin story, we're going to keep that element in. And I think that sort of tells you everything you need to know about how they perceived everything in the DCEU at the time that they took over. They saw one hit, another one they spent so much on they had to lie to everybody, and two other films that were throwaway. So yeah, Blue Beetle seems to have been literally the film that they came in and looked at and said, this is it, you keep that.